And now I'm moving on to the second question that this person has asked me. And it's, once again, there's several questions in question two. But so it gives me a beautiful series of things, or a collection of things to talk about on the same topic. So, what was it about Jesus that made him so connected to Source? Was his soul more evolved? Perhaps he lived more human lives previously than the rest of us. Perhaps he chose a life where he retained his pre-birth memories. Both? What is preventing us from getting to his level? Great questions all the way across the board. Great questions all the way across the board. What is it about Jesus that made him so connected to Source? He was consciously aware. He was consciously aware. He understood the teachings that I'm delivering. He understood that he and God were one. The Father and I are one. That's what he kept saying. He understood that. He understood, when we come into this life as children, we have just been on the other side, and we come in fully aware, and we lose that awareness through our experience here. And what happened with Jeshua was, as a young man, he would start to say, very profound things, and things would come out, and he was never stopped from doing that. And the famous story of him going to the temple and talking to the elders and teaching the elders. Boy, he would have been in real serious trouble if he'd have done that, if he wasn't allowed to do that. He would have. You don't speak to the elders that way back then, especially. So he had a little bit of a leeway, but then he did go off and study. 'Cause I remember him telling me about his studies, and I've only extrapolated that what he meant was India. And years later, after doing the studies on Sri Isa, or Isa, the prophet Isa, as they called him in India, and discovering that during the time he's not in the Bible, from his childhood to about age 30, they have documents and writings about him in India studying. And when I go back now and I look at the teachings of Hinduism and Buddhism, I can find more similarities with Jeshua's teachings with those than I can with Christianity, by far. So I think he retained his connection to Source and never lost it. And I think that once he had that experience of not losing it, he then was kind of fostered into deeper thinking, and came up learning about that throughout this is just my belief about it, and this is my belief from conversations with him, but also what I've studied and read about Sri Isa. In India, they tell you about Isa all the time, and then you say, well, whatever happened to him? And he said, well, they went back to his country and he was crucified. So they literally tell you the stories of Sri Isa, which is beautiful. And it makes perfect sense, because a lot of the stuff he talks about is very, very Hindu, and Buddhist as well in its belief. So let me jump down further. Was his soul more evolved? I don't think so. I don't think his soul was more evolved. I think that was the whole point of his teachings, is that, quote unquote, I am the Son of Man. I am the Son of Man. He was telling us that he is just like us. He just had more awareness. I often talk about the idea of everyone's looking for their connection to Source. Everyone's searching for their way to find God, their experience to the aha moments, right? The big aha moments. And the connection to Source is not something you search for. It's something you acknowledge you already have. It's something that you already live. You're already living it. I mean, your experiences. I coach people all the time when I'm talking to them. It's so interesting as people tell me, I ask, so what's going on? And they start to talk to me. And I start hearing all the present moment statements that they're making, all the thoughts, the beliefs, the faith that they're putting into their present moment beliefs. And They believe in lack. They believe in pain. They believe in poverty. They put faith in these things. And the more faith they put in them, whatever you ask in God's name, you will receive if you have faith. And God's name, according to Moses, is I am. So all day long you say, I am tired. And the next thing you know, you're yawning. All right. I am hungry. Grr, stomach growls. I am. Right? It's really interesting. The other day I was working in the garage, cleaning it, and I lost my car keys. And I was like, I can't find my car keys. And I came upstairs and I was walking through my house like, oh, where did those car keys go? And then I said, what am I doing? I am easily finding my car keys. And I got a thought and I walked back down to the garage and I walked over and there was a basket full of tools that I had cleaned up. And I reached down in the bucket and I pulled out my car keys. I am easily finding my car keys. I manifested easily finding my car keys. That's how simple this is. That's how connected you already are. You already are in the creative mode. The people don't realize that there's only one place that you are connected. It's your present moment. Because your past is just a collection of present moment memories, and your future is a place where you set goals for your next present moment. But it's here and now that you're already connected. And it's not about finding the connection. It's about acknowledging the connection. It's about realizing that you already are divine. You already are creating. And a matter of shifting into a conscious creation rather than an unconscious creation. Let me jump to the next thing. You said, was his soul more evolved? I don't think so. Perhaps he lived more human lives previously than the rest of us. I have no idea. As I've said before, I don't really fully understand what reincarnation is. I often wonder whether it's just the oneness of God being expressed and tapping into those experiences and those stories in the oneness of God. I know that like Edgar Cayce used to talk about tapping into the Akashic records, which is the knowledge of all, basically. And so the question then becomes is, did he have multiple lifetimes? Did he have multiple memories of various lives? Did he have all these things? I just think I think it's much more simple. I think he was very aware of the oneness with God, and because he was aware of the oneness of God, he lived his life from the oneness of God, and then God said, "Oh, you're understanding and expressing this. Here's the information you're creating." So I really do believe that it was all about him acknowledging his divinity. I am the son of God. You are the children of God. Same thing. They call him the son of God. He said we are the children of God. Same thing. The only difference is one of them acknowledged it, and that's really the key. Let me jump over to the next one. Perhaps he chose a life where he retained his pre-birth memories. This is a very new age belief. This the pre-choosing your life and soul contracts and soul plans and all that stuff didn't really come into existence until the late 90s and the early 2000s. And it with its biggest heyday being 2003, I believe, was the biggest year of all that. So I'm not a big believer in that whole soul contract, pre-birth planning, and all that stuff. I think it's more we're in the oneness of God. We come into the feeling of separation from that oneness, and we work our way back to it. I truly believe it's that simple. But I think when you are coming into this experience and you are coming in with those memories, and then of the memories of the oneness, and then you have that fostered in your life, and you will get more information, and you will get more understanding, and you will become, quote unquote, enlightened. Now, when I say enlightened, I don't mean bright lights and darkness and all. I mean I feel lighter because I'm not carrying so much junk. I'm not carrying all the excess. I'm not carrying all the religion. I'm not carrying all the dogma. I'm not carrying all the. I am just simple and easy, and I walk enlightened. I don't carry a bunch of stuff. This is one trip we must unpack for. What is preventing us? This was my favorite of this question. What is preventing us from getting to his level? First of all, I believe that he would say he's not at a different level, because he really was not a hierarchy kind of guy. But I do believe fully that he had more awareness because he chose more awareness. But the question itself is a question where you believe you're being prevented from experiencing it. What is preventing the rest of us from getting to his level? Nothing's preventing you. Nothing's preventing you. Only you. Only your choice to believe you're prevented. Only you deciding that you're not connected. I'm fascinated by everybody wants it to be a big light show and a big crazy metaphysical experiences. And I've had crazy metaphysical experiences, but I did not have them until I stopped looking for them and started being them. I had my Kundalini rising experience in a tent in New Orleans, and I didn't even have my past life memories yet. I was just looking into spirituality early on, and I had this gigantic experience. But it had nothing to do with dogma. It had nothing to do with ritual. It had everything to do with, I saw Buddhist monks warming their body up in a TV show. And I said, I could do that too, and I just did it. And that's not because I'm more evolved. It's because I was unencumbered by the belief I couldn't. I knew I could. I knew that I could, and because I knew I could, I did. Prevented means you know you can't. Prevented means you know that you're unable to. Whatever you ask in God's name is granted if you have faith in it. I am prevented is asking God to be prevented. And you're putting a lot of faith in it. So that's the answer to that question. And that was another great one. Thank you so much for that question. And I will see you on the next video where we'll tackle question number 3. Guys, have a great day. And I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Bye. Thank you, my friends, for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure that you've subscribed and you like it, you share it, but also comment below it. Let's get this community talking about these topics and spreading this information out far and wide so we can change the world for the better. Thank you.